name is Debbie Williams, and I'm the host of Families and Children's Justice. And we are here to talk about families. And I am here for anyone to ask questions about my involvement with Child Protective Services. Today we have 3 to 4 guests here today. And one is Michigan State Representative Cynthia A. Johnson, and she'll be talking about her past projects dealing with families and her future projects dealing with families. And also we have Maria Bracey and we have Cynthia McClinton. And these 2 ladies are here to be concerned citizens. And Mrs. Bracey is a grandmother and a great-grandmother, and she have questions. Hi, ladies. And cut your audio down, please.
Okay. Tell the ladies to say something.
So, ladies, say something. The state representative, would you like to be first? Could you hear me?
They have their stuff muted. Unmute your stuff.
Unmute. Could you hear me?
I'm asking them to unmute their stuff.
Okay. Hi, ladies. Hello.
They're muted.
Hello. Michigan State Representative Cynthia A. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
That's what live is all about.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm doing well. Yeah. And so
Good.
I would like to introduce the public to you, people who don't know you. You are our Michigan State Representative, someone who worked very hard in the community. And we would like to hear your involvement, what you've been doing in the past and what you're going to do in the present, dealing with families.
Dealing with families. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a state representative. I'm one of 110 people who represent a district. So the district that I represent is House District 5, which includes 48204, 6, 8, 9, 10, 17, and 38. I was raised in the city of Detroit. This is where I was born, is in the city of Detroit. I came from a 2-parent family. And I am the oldest of 4. My parents stayed married until my mom died when I was 33. The last 5 years of my mother's life was the best relationship that she and I had. And I say that and I'm not proud of that. So when you talk about family, you talk about your parents. Well, I want to first talk about parents.
Okay.
I know the word, and it speaks of honor thy mother and father. Not if they're good people. It just says honor your mother and father. Well, the last 5 years, I can say that I did my very best. Mm-hmm. And so I just say that to say to everyone who's listening, family is everything. And when you don't have anyone else to go to, of course we go to God. But when you don't have anyone else to go to, your family is who you should want to reach out to. But then you have family who's not blood. Like some of you on sharing this space with me right now, your family. And so because I believe so much in family and because I believe so much in our community, before I became a legislator, I worked hard in the community. I'm a big environmentalist. I want to see our communities thrive. I want to see the houses being occupied. And it hurts my heart to see all these unoccupied homes. It hurts my heart to know that there are so many people who have lost homes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it especially hurts my heart as a state legislator to see the wrong that's being committed in our community on our people. But in part, it's because a lot of times we're just not reading. And so I'm going to ask each and every one of us to please take the time out to read. Read to your children.
Yes.
We miss out on so much because of a lack of reading. I was talking to a young man yesterday. An issue that's near and dear to my heart is the Detroit Land Bank. And the atrocities I feel, or the the wrongs I believe that in part the land bank, the city of Detroit, the mayor. I don't know who it is, but it just appears to me that it looks like there's some gentrification going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that for points. I'm saying it because I see it. So anyway, a young man comes to me yesterday. He's all excited about getting a house. So he goes to the land bank. And like many people think that $1,000 is the price of your house. Well, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they've used the $1,000. They now say it's a deposit. Okay, so they're spending it like that now. It's a deposit.
Mm.
A deposit to do what? It's a deposit to make sure that you do, and it makes sense. With their rationale really makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deposit, and we want you to make sure you fix that house up and you take care of it. And when you take care of everything that you're supposed to take care of, the $1,000, okay, then it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Just pay your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But the young man applied for a house online. He bid and won the bid. What he did not do,
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy, what he did not do was to pay attention and read the information that was clearly online, that clearly said that you do not do anything to that house, do not move in it, don't do anything, don't start fixing on it, none of that. He did all that, but he didn't sign a purchase agreement.
Oh, okay.
So all the work that he's put into that house.
So he lost the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Sad.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next person. We're going to do 6-7 minutes, ladies. And so Mrs. Marie Bracy, Maria Bracy, you are a concerned grandmother and a concerned great-grandmother. And I would like to hear your issues.
Well, my issue with kids, period, is the same thing with Representative Cynthia. Not kids, I should say kids and young adults.
Okay.
They don't read. They don't read.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even, something as simple as just reading instructions, and they don't do it. And that's the problem right now. That's the problem in schools. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers don't have time to sit there and teach them how to read. You got to start a kid reading, I feel, almost 4 months old. This is the way I feel.
Mm-hmm. That's
the way I feel about, because, and I've done that with my grandkids, and I hope to do it with my great grand. But that is the whole problem with me. And I think schools need to change up their classrooms. We're going into a whole new different time. That old time religion where we sat in the desk right behind each other, that's got to go. They got to, the kids are so much, they're developing so fast. I think the classrooms, I'm really on this. I've been trying to figure out how way I can get to Dr. Vitti and all the administrators, because classrooms, you got to make a classroom almost like, what is that, Dave and Buster's. Okay, that's the way I feel, and so I'm really trying to work towards that, and especially
2 minutes now. You have 2 minutes.
I'm finished.
Okay. Now I'm going to embrace what you guys are saying in a minute, but I want to talk about my involvement, ladies. Also, too, about Child Protective Services. Now, education is important. Regentrification is a bad thing for poor people. And you have a lot of mothers out here is looking for affordable housing, and they can't get it because the rent is in like Midtown in certain areas. Cass is like $1,000, almost $1,500. And it's hard for people to find homes so their families can habitate, have somewhere to live. And also dealing with issues of, I say, like Child Protective Services, when they take children and put them in foster care, they bounce the kids around from home to home. The kid children never do get stabilized in school with their education. And sometimes they put them in these institutions and stuff, and they still lack education. It's like they don't even, I don't know what happens, but, and their reading and everything that you're saying lacks behind. There's no improvement.
Exactly. They can't even read if something they need to see, they can't. Well, anyhow, go ahead.
And,
I'm sorry.
And my involvement with Child Protective Services, I told people that they can ask me any questions about how I got involved with Child Protective Services, and I want to kind of talk about that a little bit too. My son.
So tell us, how did you get involved?
Yes, my son. I had a 8-year-old. This was in 1992, 93. Let's see, I had an 8-year-old, my daughter. My other son was 11, and then my oldest son was 14. And I lived in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And the father, he never lived with me, and he was married to someone else, but he owed child support. So he had a conversation that I didn't know about, because I never stopped my oldest son from talking to him. My oldest son is his, but not the other 2 children. And he had just recently got married, and he owed child support. So he told my son to pretend like I was going to beat him. The word, tell him that your mom was going to beat you. So he told it to, he told this to, I used to go to church all the time, to Pastor Healy's church. Can't think of the name of it. Next time I'll let you guys. Christian Life Center in Ypsilanti. And he told it to a man who was married, that I allowed my children, my sons I allowed him to be a mentor to my children, my sons. And so he told it to this guy. And instead of the man coming to me, he talked to his boss, because my son called him up and he was at work, and his boss told him to report the information. And so he did report it. And ironically, where he worked at was right across the street in, I think it's Townsend Street in Ypsilanti. And he worked at a multi-service center. And Washtenaw County Department of Human Service right across the street from it. But see, I'm just finding that out by my son, because I always thought they had picked my kids up from school. Well, they did pick up my daughter, but not the two boys. And the man took the kids straight to the Department of Human Services. And so then I got a knock on the door, waiting for my children to come home. No children, but there was Department of Human Services, Washtenaw County, and a sheriff. And he's talking to me about my kids, and I'm saying, I mean, what are you talking about? And I had furniture in the house, but on his report, he manipulated the report. He put down I didn't have furniture. There was furniture in the house. Thank God I found later on, I seen a report that someone else who came later on, and they had wrote down that I had furniture, I had beds. He said I had no beds, no furniture, couches, that I beat my kids with 2x4s and iron cords. And when a gentleman by the name of Charles Miller at the time, that was the mentor of my sons, right? If them kids had been beat with 2x4s and iron cords, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would be with a record on me. I would have been in prison. But this is what they had on the petition, that my children was beat with 2x4s, iron cords. Also, they said that I didn't buy them any food to eat. And this is what I had went through, knowing you can just see clearly. And prior to that, I had already took my kids to get a physical. And on the physical, it shows that my kids, their physical was, clearly excellent. Everything was excellent. I even, because they said that later on during the time, I even got, that was later on during me being inside the system, right? They had the kids for a while, and I found out the allegations. And when they supposed to tell you the allegations right away when they take your children, but that didn't happen until later on, like months later, maybe almost like a half of a year. And so I went to Myers, where I used to go and buy my groceries at, and I got a petition. And God is so good. And the people wrote down that I used to come to Myers all the time to buy groceries. I had letters from college, because I was a student at Washtenaw Community College in Ann Arbor. I had professors. I had all kind of letters and stuff. Washtenaw County ignored everything.
So, excuse me, I got to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying basically that they just took the word of what he said,
Mm-hmm.
and so they decided that they wanted to take your kids away.
Well, that's what they did. That's what they did. Mm-hmm. And
Well,
at that time, I didn't really understand what was going on. I didn't know it was more than just them taking my kids away. And because I would just cry out to God, like, why? I'm taking my children to church every day. I'm not on drugs. I'm not on alcohol. I don't have men running in and out of my home. I don't even do that at all. None of that. I couldn't figure out why. I was so bitter. I also, God forgive me, I was even bitter with God because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Until I found out, pardon me?
because you didn't know what was going.
Why they didn't get my kids? Why you had my kids so long? Why
Yeah,
the
you were
system?
oblivious to what was going on.
Yeah.
Did
I
they
finished up.
send you? Did they send you information?
No,
The
no.
reason why I'm asking you this is because my husband's daughter is going through this,
Mm-hmm.
and the grandmother took the daughter, and it's the same thing as what you're saying. So I want to know what happened. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so listen, let me stop y'all just
Okay.
for a second.
Mhm.
Okay, since I got a little bit of experience on the radio as a radio talk show host, and I see this thing going all sideways.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Because there are a lot of people who are in your same situation. People, as a matter of fact, I was talking to a woman today who took on 2 children that are not hers.
Mm-hmm.
And she cannot really afford the kids, and CPS, according to her, won't help. Instead, they want her to get guardianship. She did not have guardianship They want her to get guardianship first before do anything. I told her, yes, that's exactly what they're going to want you to do. Her issue was, and I really need to check this out. Her issue was, wait a minute. At first, the supervisor, CPS supervisor, according to her, explained to her that they can have her to become a foster parent. She wants to opt out to do that. Rather not opt out, but she wants to do that because she believes that she will get some kind of help, financial help. But her according to her CPS worker told her, you can't do that. You have to apply, you have to get guardianship. But here's my question, and I'm not really sure about this. If she applied for guardianship, will she be able to get any funding to help her?
From what I found out, yes. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That is a little.
All right, can I chime in before we run out of time?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I want to say this: if she was the
Okay,
foster
just-
care mom, she will get money. I don't know about guardianship.
Right.
Yeah, that's what her thing was too.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I just say that I'm a grandmother, and I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I encourage children around me, mine, others, to study their history, to watch Hidden Colors, and to learn your true history, to find out why they keep lying to us politically, historically, educationally, in order to keep us dumbed down economically and into poverty. This system is still a beast. Just listening to Debbie, how corrupt the system is, and kidnapping children, human trafficking is for real.
Yep.
Did you ever get your children back, Debbie?
Oh yes, I got them back. I had to work outside of dealing with this, the public defenders inside Washtenaw County, and I got someone outside, and it seemed like
How
once
long did it take you?
my kids was gone a year and 3 months, 6
Dang.
months. And let me tell you something. I did everything they wanted me to do and above. And I have evidence of it. I did everything. And they
How
still,
did your children adjust?
they didn't. My daughter didn't tell me until she was like, my daughter is in her late 30s now. And in 2012, she told me as a grown woman while she was in foster care in Inkster that the foster daughter, a teenage woman around 16 years old, molested her while she was in foster care. And then I was kind of strict kind of mother. I didn't believe my children, believing my sons going 2 and 3 blocks down the street without me watching my kids and stuff like that. And my boy, my son Mario, he was in Inkster, and my daughter would tell me, Mom, Mario would be all out at night riding bikes, going to some neighbor house next door. His foster mom was a big, huge lady, and she wasn't young like me. Would take him places and stuff. She went to church all the time. That was good, but she didn't do things with the boys like she should have. And then
Okay, so Debbie, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Debbie. The system that took your children away. Where were your children staying?
my daughter was in Inkster in a foster care.
Oh, okay, in foster care.
My daughter was in one foster care. My son was in Inkster in another foster care home. And then my son, who his father wanted him to stay when he was in Canada. His name is Joe. Joseph.
How old are your children now?
Ooh, like 40 something in their 30s.
So this has really this has really damaged you mentally.
Yeah,
Right.
and then see what happens. I found out it's a lot more, and we're gonna have this show, and I'm gonna have to wrap it up. But what happened was when my daughter wound up with an older man, and then he told that she left her baby in the home, and she didn't, because I didn't know he was abusing her at the time.
Hey, listen, why don't we do this? Because I know we're running out of time.
Right.
I'm willing to host, not today, but to host a program on this issue so that we can have more time. There can be more parents,
Yep.
even more children who have experienced this nightmare that you're talking about.
But let me just
I
say
think
this. Let me say this right
So
fast.
reach out to my office.
I think it's great.
Time to go. Let me just say this. So I became a target parent. They call it target parent management, where because I was in the system, then no matter how much I show evidence that I didn't do anything, even they threw me on the central registry, I got off of that. I should have been able to get my grandkids. I wasn't. So more to come. More to come.
We need to talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
okay.
you. So
All right.
we're going to wrap
Y'all
up.
take care.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
we're going to wrap up, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Okay.
And the name of this show is Families
Okay.
and Children's
you
Justice.
next time.
Thank you.